So it's another day, another road trip, heading out for another landscape photography adventure. Once again, I was heading south, out towards the San Luis Valley, and heading for the sand dunes. A very serious adventure if you can't tell from my expression in the driver's seat there. The forecast was looking like heavy overcast with the potential for some rain. So I knew going in that I wasn't going to have a good sunset, but that wasn't super important to me because I'd done that shot at the sand dunes before. I was really interested to see what I could get with some darker and moodier conditions. So I was fairly enthusiastic heading into this particular day of landscape photography. But as you guys will see, it turned out to be a little bit more difficult than I had been planning for. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you can guess where I am. That's right, we're back out at Great Sand Dunes National Park. This is, I think, the third time in the last 6 months. Let's see, I came out here in December, and then back in February. I didn't vlog that one, so this is the second time you guys have been seeing me out here. Time, space, warp conundrum here. Let's just forget about that and move on. And I could not have picked a more blustery day to come out here. It's not super cold, but it's windy. It's super windy, but you know what? I'm not regretting it right now because I think this is going to be a pretty good day to be out here. And you might all be thinking right now, well, it's a super flat day and it's super windy and it's super cloudy. Why would you think it was going to be a good day to be out here? Well, first and biggest reason, I'm going to take this off of the tripod here real quick so I can show you guys. Out this way, the creek is flowing. This is the famous Madona Creek that flows in front of the sand dunes during the spring. Fun fact, as I mentioned in the first time that I vlogged out here, this is the creek that I killed my very first DSLR in. It was a Canon Rebel T3i. I loved that little camera to death. It taught me how to shoot, and then I brought it out here and I basically murdered it because I was propped up on a flimsy tripod. And I'll just come over here and show you guys really quickly, 1 second. Take the camera off of that tripod because it is windy out here and I don't want that thing blowing over. That's a $1,000 lens that's on there. That would not be cheap to replace. But back to the story of how I killed my first camera out here. If you look just down here, out here, you see how this creek is kind of ebbing and flowing. Well, I had this crazy idea to stick my tripod out here. In fact, let me show you guys right here. You just see how that creek is ebbing. In fact, yeah, we got some water coming in right here. So this creek just ebbs and flows. And I had, at the time, it was just a flimsy kit tripod, consumer tripod. I don't even remember. It was some weird off-brand, but I had it in the creek because I wanted to get shots of these ripples that, if you guys can see right here, I don't know, but I want to get some shots of these ripples that form in this creek bed. Well, I stood up for a second because my knees were killing me and a rush of water came in, and flop, 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 flop went the T3i Rebel. That was heartbreaking. There's nothing like destroying your first camera in water, guys. You never forget it and you try never again to replicate it. So just quick little side story out there. Let's get back to the main point. I am super excited to be out here today. Again, we don't have the greatest lighting conditions, but the creek is flowing. I really wanted to get out here, check out how strong the creek is flowing, and find an opportunity to use it in a shot for today. It's a seasonal thing. It doesn't run during the summer. In fact, it'll probably dry up around June. So it's a limited time scene, and I want to take advantage of it while I can. Again, I do wish the lighting conditions were better, but you know, that's okay. We'll just smacked in the ear with my sweater string. We're just got to go with what we've got. So we've got a windy, gray day to do something with this shot. So we're just going to have to make the best of it. I'm thinking we may get just a moody, desaturated shot, or we might just even get a black and white image today. We're just going to do what we can. That's part of photography. I'm also really excited because, hard to see on this wide angle lens, but we've got some pretty active clouds coming in over that peak up there. So fingers crossed, we're going to walk up the creek bed here a ways, and I want to see if I can capture a shot with those cloud formations. Hopefully they stick around. So 2 images that I had planned for today: find something that includes the creek, just a classic shot with the creek and the dunes and the mountain up there, and then second shot, see if we can get something with those clouds, if those cloud structures keep doing crazy things. I've already been set up, as you guys could see earlier, and I was taking an image out towards the south, because out there we actually do have some light hitting the mountains out there and hitting the clouds, and it's nice and kind of yellow and golden right now. We're still a couple hours away from golden hour, so maybe later on in the day that might get nice and orangey and we could get something with that. But we have what looked like maybe some rain curtains dropping down, or just some low-hanging cloud just cresting those mountains out there, and I really wanted to take advantage of that. So just really quickly, I slapped on the 70-200 f4 on my 70 Mark II, and I set up real quick. I tried taking a panoramic, but it really wasn't working, and I have people like moving in and out around me, and that was just slowing me down. So the panoramic wasn't working. So I just decided to focus on, I think it's middle, the snow-capped mountain out there, just focus on that and take an image. We've got some nice yellow light on the clouds out there, and there was a rain curtain, I think it was a rain curtain, that was just streaming down in the middle of the image. And so I'm pretty happy with that. Not a bad way to start off this day after taking a couple weeks off of vlogging and photography. So I'm really excited for what the rest of this afternoon is going to do. And so yeah, good way to start the day off. So something that I'm trying to be really careful of today is, with all this wind blowing, it's very easy for sand to get in my bag. And sand and electronics do not mix. Canon cameras are pretty weather sealed, but it's still a concern for me because I don't want my lenses getting scratched up. I don't want it getting in the battery ports or anything like that. So I'm just trying to be really careful with all the blowing wind out here, not getting any sand in my bag or on my gear. I'm not actually too worried about it on where I am right now. If I was over on that side of the dunes, I would be a little bit more worried, because it's definitely, I can see it kicking up over there and blowing. So need to be a little careful of that. But boy, it's windy today. I picked a super windy day to be out here. Oh man, I'm just walking along the edge of the creek bed right now, see if I can find something that I think is kind of cool, kind of interesting. We've got these look like maybe logs that were all in a line right here. That would make for a cool leading line, but I don't think it's natural. I think somebody put those there. So I'm not gonna shoot that. Something else that I'm really kind of looking for here that I just kind of thought of while walking around here is with all the water coming through, we might get some nice abstract or find a little like pebble or stone or leaves or something in the sand here. So just kind of being on the lookout for that too. You never know. Oh, it's super windy out here today though. Oy. Yes, the wind would prove to be very, very difficult to deal with today. Oh, we've got a good moment coming up here. Hang on. Oh, there it goes. Oh no! Oh, my hat! No! Come back, hat! Oh, it's rolling. It's rolling. Am I gonna catch up with it? Oh, thank God it stopped. Oh, as you guys can see right there, I had to put my tripod into my hat to get it to stop rolling around, which meant that I covered it in sand and mud, which I would end up having to wash out later, so the hat was just unwearable for the rest of the day. You'd think I would learn my lesson about wearing ball caps in the middle of windy conditions. So if you guys couldn't tell already, I'm having an extremely difficult time vlogging because of how windy and just blustery it is. I'm not a big fan of wind. I can handle rain, I can handle snow, I can even handle cold. But wind is something that I do not do well in. Wind also makes it very hard, at least for me, to do good photography. Because while there are definitely scenes where you want motion, wind interference is just a pain in the behind. So, yeah, the wind is definitely making things kind of unfun for me today. Now, all that being said, we've been hiking up a lot closer to this mountain up here. I think we've come about a quarter mile, maybe a half mile up from the car park. And the clouds are just dancing over this one little peak right there. So it's really cool. I'm just trying to get into a position where I think I could be very happy just getting an isolated shot at that peak. Oh, another interesting rock shot. I seem to be into these more intimate rock shots lately. I'm always faffing about with my camera bags. Never can be good. Oh, this is not gonna be good. Okay, so this wind is making it nearly impossible to vlog right now. My SL2, thank God it took a tumble into some very soft sand because, woo, that was close. That was really, really close. Okay, so just take it on my word, guys, that I got a very good shot of these rocks right here because it's proving much too difficult to have my tripod standing up with the camera on it, with the wind blowing it. It's just, oy. This is just gonna be a mess of a vlog today. I'm really sorry, guys. I'll put up the image that I captured for you guys right now. It is proving just to be so difficult to vlog right now because I can't keep my eye on my tripod with the vlogging camera on it and take the shot at the same time. So I'm just gonna take this shot handheld. I'll put up the settings with the image. But yeah, this wind is just making it so difficult to vlog right now. Oy. So guys, again, I apologize for the shakiness. I'm hand holding this. Whew. After taking that shot with those two rocks, I've come up the creek a ways, and we're kind of standing out, kind of in the middle, some little streamlets flowing out along this way, and I've found what I think is going to be honestly probably our last shot of the day. And I say last shot of the day because as I've gotten up closer to the mountain up out here, I've just gotten less and less impressed with how isolating that mountain looks. The clouds are doing kind of cool, funky things, but just the mountain around it just doesn't look good. So I'm just feeling like that shot is not worth capturing today. However, just up the ways here just a little bit, I have found what I think is a composition that includes part of the stream, the dunes, and the snow-capped mountain back there. It's going to be a black and white image. I'm going with black and white for this image because we don't have much color to work with. We've got gray, flat conditions. We don't got any light streaming anywhere. So a black and white, I think, is going to do this scene justice versus what a color image would do. So again, it's so windy up here. I'm not going to set the tripod up there. Not only is it windy, it's wet and boggy, and the tripod's gonna sink in the mud. So I'm gonna grab my camera, go handheld, and shoot a quick image out there. So through the magic of editing, you guys are gonna see this image in about 5 seconds, maybe. And yeah, this trip down to the sand dunes is turning out to be much more of a struggle than I envisioned today. Again, love-hate relationship with this place. But it usually kicks out some fantastic images. So that was more than 5 seconds. Here's the image that I just captured. Okay, breaking out the beanie, got the gloves on. This wind is just, it's not super cold, but it's just cold enough that it's really starting to bother me. So, gloving up and putting the winter beanie on. Anyway, that image, I took several different shots, going back and forth a little bit, all of them vertical, because I couldn't find a horizontal image that really made me happy. So I think I came away with one that looks okay. It's not going to be a portfolio image. I don't think any of the images out of today are going to be portfolio worthy, but enough to keep the social media game going, enough to keep hopefully generating some interest in my work going. Hopefully you guys enjoy the images out of today.
All right, hold up. That was technically not the end of the shoot, because the end of the shoot was much later when I decided to go chasing a lightning storm that appeared. Don't believe me? Well, here you go.
So as I was driving back from the sand dunes, I started seeing lightning. I know what you're all thinking. He's insane. I think I might have gotten one decent exposure. I might have bumped the camera because I didn't think it was exposing, but it was. And I think I've gotten a couple other decent flashes, kind of holding out. It's a really long time in between lightning strikes. The camera's set up right there. Luckily, it's not super windy now, but 30-second exposures, 5 seconds in between exposures. Just gonna wait this out for a while and see if we can get anything.
So I love proving myself wrong. This is probably my favorite image of the day because it was just one that I didn't see coming. It's a composite of two images as we're going left to right here. The lightning forks that were on the left-hand side were from a second exposure that I got, while this main fork that you're seeing right here with all the crackly sparks, that was the main shot. My concerns about bumping the camera were pretty unfounded. You can see some blurriness here in the image, but if you look at these fence posts, they're vertically straight, which tells me that I didn't really bump the camera. The blurriness in the foreground there is just from wind noise. And really, it doesn't distract from the image because those lightning forks are the main focus. So I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, back to my ramblings.
Still a gorgeous, gorgeous view back there. Definitely getting some clouds rolling in though. We had a few raindrops splashing, so we could be having some rain moving in here pretty soon. I think I just felt a raindrop hit my shoulder. But yeah, guys, definitely, man, definitely today was a struggle. I will never not go out in bad conditions or in less than ideal conditions, because you can get some really cool imagery. You gotta be willing to put up with it. Again, today, a game of wind and a game of sand, and now it's a game of rain. So yeah, with those kind of 3 images in the bag for today, I think we're gonna pack up and head back to the car and go find ourselves something hot to drink. There's a gas station in Fort Garland, and I think I'm just gonna get some gut rot hot chocolate. You know, the kind that's really syrupy and really sugary, that you know is really bad for you, but deep down you like. That sounds really good right now. So I think, yeah, I can feel the rain coming in. So yeah, we're gonna call it here today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I know it's been chaotic. I was running around chasing my hat, getting buffeted by wind. I hope the audio was okay. If you did like today's video, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're already subscribed. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you know when I post my uploads. And just stay tuned, guys. More stuff to come. So until next time, I hope you all have a good adventure, and I will see you out on the trail, and hopefully it won't be as windy.